Okay, if we are up and running, if you are here tuning in for my presentation on family-friendly home design, please feel free to use the chat services. Let me know that you're here. Ask questions throughout my presentation, and I'll stick around afterwards to have a conversation with anybody who's here listening in as well. If you haven't met me before, my name is Alyssa Carnes. I am originally from Indiana and moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan by way of meeting my husband in Chicago. He's from Kalamazoo, and so we moved home, our new home, and have made our home in Grand Rapids since 2015. And we love it here, absolutely. Love the city and all of the people we've met. I am an interior designer. I am a full-time mom. I have a background in education and data strategy. So my interest and my experience across the board, but I have been designing homes, managing renovations, and doing decorating and home design since 2015. I specify in helping my clients create family-friendly homes. And you'll learn a lot more about what that means, what it means to me, ways that you can do it in your own home when you're approaching design projects, and different ways that I help my clients with family-friendly home design as we go along. A little bit about me, I really love my family. We've certainly spent more time together this year than maybe ever before. I think probably you can relate, but we are a full-time at-home self-employed family. I have a third grader and a son in pre-K who can't wait to start kindergarten in the fall. I have a sweet little Shih Tzu Bichon. I'm a big bargain hunter. I love doing DIY projects as well as managing the professional ones. And we cook quite a bit. It's kind of in another life, maybe we would have run a restaurant. So if you ever need a good recipe, I'll be here for you to do that too. Our goal for 2021 is to start buying and renovating houses in Grand Rapids. There's just so much beautiful architecture here that with a little bit of TLC could be a wonderful family home. So those are some of the things I'm passionate about. My wish for you after this presentation is that you can learn a few ways, or maybe are reminded or learn some new ways to create a home that is unique to your family. I believe that your home should make your life easier, and that's both emotionally and the amount of time it takes you and how you feel in your house, as well as how you parent in your house, all of those things. Your home is the backdrop for the memories that you make with your family. So all the little things that you do, from installing a light fixture to buying a sofa, I always keep in mind the people who live in your home and the life that you have there first. So if we go ahead and get started, I'm going to go through 5 ways that I help my clients, and things for you to keep in mind too, of how to design a family-friendly home. First and foremost, I always think about function. Function is the most important. Like your house is not a museum. It's not an art gallery. It can be, and it'd be lovely if it felt like that, but it has to function. It really serves a purpose for you. And the way that I work at getting to the function of each space in my clients' homes is talking about the people and the purpose. Every room serves the people in your family in a different way, and they do a different thing there. With quarantine and all of us being at home more, the purpose of our homes and the purpose of the rooms in our homes has certainly changed. It's taken on probably forms that we didn't really anticipate, or maybe we're pushing our houses to the limit in a way we never would have imagined. But you adapt and you get creative and you learn about the function of the spaces in your home and how they need to serve the people there. So in this picture you see it's actually a wall of cabinets, and it's behind me right over here. It's actually my house in this kitchen. And there is a lot going on in this picture, and in the kitchen you see behind me that is exactly this. It's a combination of people and purpose. Your kitchen is one of the most functional spaces in your house because the things in the room have to do jobs. That wall of cabinets is designed with pull-out shelves under on the bottom half of those cupboards, And those are specifically so that my 9 and 4-year-old can put their own food away. They can get the toaster out and they can put it back. They know exactly where the cereal shelf is, and they don't have to climb on a chair or ask a grown-up for help. We picked that fridge because it has a middle drawer. It's kid height on purpose. That's the drawer filled with fruits, vegetables, and cheese sticks that they can eat like on demand. That's the okay drawer. Even the island behind me, we made sure that 4 bar stools could fit at it because we have 4 people in our family. And we always want the kids to have a place to sit in the kitchen while we're cooking. They know that this is the side of the kitchen you walk on, this is the side of the kitchen where mommy and daddy cook, and you have to stay over there. So the design of this space is very intentionally grounded in the function based on the people. So if you're starting to design a new room, get out a notepad, observe the living that is happening in your space. Think about how you're living in the space, how your kids are living in the space, your spouse, your guests, etc. Who are the people that the room needs to serve, and what is the purpose, the main purpose that the room needs to fill for your family. The second thing is that I always am trying to keep in mind, and I encourage my clients to keep in mind as well, is that often less is more. And I know that we say that about a lot of different things, but in this case, I think a lot of our inclination is that when we want to refresh a room or decorate or design, your instinct is to go buy things or to move things around, or to add things to the space to solve the problem. I just need to add another solution. I need to add art. I need to add decorations. But it looks like this slide is maybe missing a line. Sorry about that. Let's identify the areas that are actually an issue for your family and then solve those first. Don't add decor. The decor is the last step in my client project. First, we start with people, then we work on purpose of the space. Then we go and find the things or alter the things in the room that kind of make that equation make sense. Adding things, decor, artwork, pillows, textures, more color, those are the very last step of a project. And they're the part that you get from maybe the most excited about, but they're not going to solve the problem. You need to start with the issues, come up with a solution. Don't add more things to your room. You're probably going to start by taking things away from your room before you add them. The third thing is materials. And so this is kind of a grounding foundational understanding of interior design. And it's something that I bring to my clients, and I really enjoy the opportunity to educate my clients on materials. But this is one space where I feel like my family-friendly focus is different, and it really hits home with my clients, because the last thing I would ever do or suggest to you is adding something to your home or buying a piece of furniture or floor covering that adds to your anxiety. I love a white sofa, but I have a 9 and a 4-year-old. And so what my clients often don't know is that if you choose the right materials, you can have a white sofa and have your kids live in your house without giving you a heart attack twice a day, because they carry snacks around and they have sippy cups and they spill things. I had an entire green smoothie spilled on a rug one time, but because it was the right fabric choice for my space, there was no spinach, peanut butter, almond milk stain inside. So a couple things to keep in mind when you're looking at materials if you're buying new items for your home. Indoor-outdoor. Indoor-outdoor materials are intentionally designed to withstand the elements, UV, and weather. So if it's created to live on your patio, it's certainly durable enough to live in your house. I have used indoor-outdoor rugs, indoor-outdoor pillows, for all sorts of interior installations, specifically those with really busy households that have a lot of foot traffic, or kids or pets. So all of us, every person that lives in your house creates a mess sometimes wherever they go. Indoor-outdoor materials are uniquely designed to withstand that mess. Polypropylene is the name of a material. It's actually like fibers made out of plastic. The difference between, so it's a synthetic, the difference between polypropylene and maybe organic fibers is that the color is actually in the fiber, whereas cotton or wool, for example, color is added to the fibers after it's created. So every rug in my home has polypropylene in it. And in this picture, that rug is actually graded as an indoor-outdoor rug, and it is 100% polypropylene. You could take OxyClean and a scrub brush and go to town. You could take that rug and hang it on your outdoor patio and spray it with a hose and let it air dry, and the pattern would look brand new. So that's a keyword that if you're looking for a color-safe, water-safe material, polypropylene is a great place to start. A lot of furniture will come with machine washable covers, pillow covers that zip off, sofa cushions that can be flipped. If they're not attached, that the cover often zips off, and the fabric choice, you can make sure that it's machine washable. There's an entire cult of slip cover converts who love their slip covered sofa. We don't wash things. I don't wash my sofas. We just take care of them and vacuum them. But if you like machine washable, you can find materials that are intended for that type of cleaning. I mentioned removable covers. I really like very affordable pillow covers that just zip, and you can swap the same pillow insert in and out of covers to change your decor, wash the covers, swap them out for the next season, or whatever you kind of fancy. The next bullet on here is replaceable quality. I don't love the idea of things going in the landfill, right? I would never tell you to throw something out if just because you could get a nicer or a prettier version, right? Like, that's not what home design is about. However, in the case of living in your house the way that works the best for your family, I never have clients overinvest in something that they might either grow out of, or it might take a beating in the next 5 to 10 years. There are different chapters of your family life, and it's not always the right time to invest in heirloom quality pieces. So replaceable quality may mean hand-me-down. It may mean that the sofa you buy now eventually will live in the basement, or you're going to resell something and give it a life somewhere else. But knowing which chapter, how much wear and tear your things are going to get during this chapter of your life, and then maybe planning for the 2.0 version of that room when it's time. And then finally, avoid shiny object syndrome / know your lifestyle. It's very easy to spend time dreaming, going into a furniture store or looking through your latest Pottery Barn catalog and falling in love with all of the beautiful things. It doesn't always mean those are the right things for your family or for your space. And so one thing that I do really like about working with my clients is that I can give them kind of a filtered set of items to look for, and I'm always making sure that the choices I'm giving them meet that minimum criteria of are they suited for the people and the lifestyle that live in this space. The picture here is of a living room design that I completed in early 2020. And it is a great example of choosing materials and pieces for the people who live in space. The sofa is covered in a kid-proof, stain-resistant fabric. It's a light gray, but it reads like a white sofa. It's such a bright and airy space. But you don't need to worry about wine or coffee on that sofa because it's going to stand up to them, and you'll be able to get the stain right off. The fabric actually repels the water. The ottoman was reused from their home before my project, and we decided to keep it because they have 2 toddlers. That is the perfect coffee table to put in a home with toddlers. It's not their favorite, and it's not going to live there forever. Eventually, we'll put a real coffee table in the space. But for now, an upholstered ottoman is perfect because you can still put your feet on it. You can put a tray on it with drinks for guests. But your toddlers can also climb on it and walk around the edges, and you won't have to worry about anyone getting hurt. The rug I did mention is an indoor-outdoor polypropylene flat lay power loomed area rug. Not a huge investment, but it's the perfect quality and size for the space. And it serves a real purpose at this time in this family's life. The fourth thing that I always kind of come back to with home design and working with my clients is, when in doubt, stick to your plan. If you don't have a plan, you're not ready to start yet. And what I mean by that is kind of going back to the less is more idea, that you want to fix a room, you're ready to get started on a project. Your inclination is either to dive into online shopping or to head to a furniture store, or say, I need a new sofa, this is the thing we're going to do, and move forward with investing in a big piece like that. Instead of immediately shopping for furniture and decor, make a plan. Stay focused. It is sometimes shocking to people when they realize that you can have up to $20,000 worth of items in one room. A lot of us have collected these things over time, but if you were to start from scratch and put things into that space, the bill can skyrocket. If you have a plan, then, and this is a lot what I do with my clients too, we might lay out everything that needs to go in that room and then put it in order. Okay, this is the first thing we're going to do. Here's the highest impact item. We're going to go down this plan, and the room is going to come together in this way. But we're not just going to start throwing things at the problem to try to fix it. One way to keep on track with your plan and help focus your shopping and your sourcing for the room is to decide that you're going to stick to a color palette. And what I mean by that is, say the main colors in your room are cream and forest green and gray. So before you go buying things in a million colors or in every metallic shade or in all sorts of different combinations of white and gray and green, if you pick a color palette and stick to it, visually the room stays calmer and it brings itself together. And it also reads as a collection instead of a pile of junk. And I hear this from clients a lot, is that they're like, I think I have a lot of nice things. I don't know where to put them, and I still feel like my room is a mess. Or I just can't get the design to come together. Can you make it click for me? One thing that will help you accomplish that and stick to your plan and make sure that you're bringing things into the space that really feel like they belong there. One trick to doing that is having a very simple color palette and sticking to it. The other plan that I want you to keep in mind is have an idea of what the space needs to be, and then prioritize the things that you are investing in and bringing into the space before just shopping. Finally, one thing that my clients often struggle with is having too many pinspirations. And I don't know if you're familiar with Pinterest or not, but Pinterest is a visual search engine that you can really go down the rabbit hole, like even more so than Google. Pinterest is going to be pushing lots and lots of visual inspirations, things that people have tagged, things that other users have liked, blog posts, design resources. And it's a bit like drinking from a water hose. It also is going to introduce you to so many different design styles that it might be hard to focus. And then you're also going to get a lot of both DIYers, professional bloggers, and professional designers giving you solutions to things, like all sorts of solutions and projects and DIY ideas. Don't feel overwhelmed or tempted to try all of the things that you can learn online. There's just too many. So I usually say to my clients, okay, set a 5 or 10 minute timer, go on Pinterest, look for inspirations, and then shut it down. Don't get pulled into that, the spiral of the black hole of all the inspiration and guidance you can find online. So we're gonna first identify where your family makes the messes and where the stress points are in your home. Look for solutions for those things. Second is, if you're collecting inspiration from Pinterest, make sure that you're focusing on designs that actually match your lifestyle. You might fall in love with a designer and want to recreate all of her style in your home. But if she's not designing for a home that has 2 toddlers and a teenager and 3 dogs, it's not going to work. So even if you have this beautiful space, it's not appropriate for the life that you're living in the house. And then finally is kind of the idea, like, okay, yeah, we can be really flooded with inspiration and design ideals, but sometimes good for now is actually perfect. And this is really hard for me too, because I love researching and gathering inspiration. And then sometimes I'll realize, like, I have been thinking about a solution or designing the space that doesn't actually need to be changed right now. It's fun. And I like pulling together the inspiration and, and dreaming up the plan. But in our real houses, sometimes those are just dreams. And so I even challenge myself to say, oh, is it good enough for now? Are we okay? And then I kind of go back to that planning stage where I say, okay, where are we really having the messes and the stresses? Is there space that is a real thorn in my side every day? Like right now, it's the boot tray by our front door. Is there a way I can fix that? Is there a design strategy that can make coming in and out of my house less stressful? There might be something there that I might be dreaming about redoing a bathroom, but the bathroom's fine. Maybe we should prioritize this other project first. And so that's just a little note on the distraction and the overwhelm of Pinterest and the feeling that you are maybe struggling to have this Pinterest perfect home, when in reality, you could make the plan, work with a designer to come up with those solutions, or nail the more immediate problems before designing the big thing. One thing that I like to say to my clients is that great home design is a love letter to your family. And this might sound a little bit cheesy, but I think it's really come into focus a lot more even in 2020 and 2021, that working on your space is never an investment in vain. Your surroundings create an emotional and a physical reality for the people who live in your home. And we're all home a lot right now. My daughter is virtual schooling. My son is not enrolled in a pre-K. My husband and I both work from home on our businesses. And the spaces in our house are constantly meeting those challenges. If it's a mess and people are on top of each other and nobody has, a quiet space to take their Zoom call, which we all have right now, it's impacting your emotional reality. It's impacting my daughter's ability to succeed in school. It's impacting my ability to run my business. Home design is more than just a collection of pretty things. You're actually creating spaces that let you live the life that you want. So if ever there was a time to look at your space and evaluate 1 or 2 things that you could work on for 2021. Obviously you're here, so you probably have a project in mind, or you've been thinking about it and maybe it's just time to pull the trigger. But it really is a way to show the people in your life that you love them and to help them be the best that can be. So if you only remember 3 things from listening to this webinar, these are going to be the 3 mistakes that I hope you avoid from now on, ever and ever. Pinky promise. Don't do these things and you will automatically be designing your house more like a professional. They are: 1, to hang while art lower than your instincts tell you to. The horizontal center of the frame, maybe screenshot this for later. The horizontal center of the frame or of the entire arrangement, if it's a gallery wall, should be at eye level. I'm 5'3". For me, eye level is right at my eye line, and so I'm a good judge for where art is hung. But the center of the frame should be about at 5 feet tall. You can fudge with this a little bit if it's over a piece of furniture or if it's part of another vignette, or if there's other things in the room. However, over and over and over again, I see artwork hung too high. So stick that in your back pocket next time it's time to hang something on the wall. Second is, if you are looking for a paint color, is to push yourself to look 2, 3, 4 shades up the card or lighter than the initial color tone that you are drawn to. A lot of times my clients will say, I really love the look of gray walls, or I really like this sea foamy green-gray color. And the color that they're choosing when they're just at the paint store is usually a much more concentrated color than would be appropriate for the whole wall. Those medium tone colors actually kind of absorb the light and can tend to make your space look smaller. For me, that adds visual clutter. It's adding more colors to the room than I want to see. And it's stressful. If you're someone who's impacted by the amount of light in your room and the colors you're surrounded with, go lighter and see, excuse me, see if you like the way that a lighter shade of your intended color looks on the wall. This is not on here, but if you're ever sampling colors, go buy a real cheap piece of poster board and do 2 coats of your paint on the entire poster board and carry that around in your house instead of having cheetah print walls, which I'm absolutely guilty of doing myself. Third is consider larger sizes for decor than your first instinct may tell you to. Over and over again, I am helping clients measure for rugs, and they are always defaulting to 4x6 or 5x7 rugs, probably because they're more affordable, they're smaller, and they think, oh, it'll fit in the space, no problem. Rugs, artwork, vases, light fixtures, any of those things that are too small end up looking cheap and incomplete. Anytime I see little tiny light fixtures in a space, I know that either the contractor skimped or somebody put them in that didn't have the whole design in mind. Collections of tiny little tchotchkes on a shelf look junky. Bigger statement pieces on your shelf or your mantle or your bookcase look intentional, and it's as if you've created that styled look on purpose. Rugs should be about the size of your room. So if you're looking at a standard living room, see if an 8x10 will fit. It's a very common size of rug. It's often one of the more affordable large rug sizes. Anything larger than that can get custom and the price can jump quickly. But an 8x10, the same number of feet of all of your furniture should sit on the rug from every direction. So if you have 2 chairs and a sofa, the sofa should have the first 2 feet on the rug, and the chairs should have their first 2 feet on the rug. Or they should all have all 4 feet on the rug. A rug should never sit in front of your furniture like a little frame for your coffee table, for instance, in a living room. So go larger, go bigger, go home, right? Go larger than maybe your instinct tells you to, and you'll automatically feel like you have a more intentionally designed space. So those are my tips for today. I hope that this discussion on how I approach designing family-friendly homes has been helpful for you. I would love to hear in the chat if anyone has any comments or questions, but what does your family home have to do? Who are the people that live with you? What are the functions of your spaces and where are you struggling? Please don't hesitate to reach out, ask a question or send me a message at any time. If you're ready to work with a professional, I see my clients as partners in the design process. It's a very collaborative design experience, and I would really love to hear about the projects that you have planned for 2021. You can review all of my service packages and fill out a real quick and easy new client information form at www.alyssadesigns.co. That information form will actually immediately send you an invitation to book a free 20-minute call on my calendar. It's just a really great way to get to know me and to share your projects with me, and we can figure out if there's a good way to work together moving forward. So I'm going to stick around here, get a drink of water, and if there are any questions, I'm absolutely happy to have a conversation. Otherwise, I hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend, and hopefully we'll see you at next year's home show. Thank you so much for listening, Carolyn. So good to hear from you. Hey there, sorry, we got disconnected really quickly. Ralph, I see your question. Lakefront home, 3 adult married children and 8 grandchildren. Oh, that sounds fun. What do I recommend for a lakefront home on flooring and furniture? Honestly, my instinct on flooring, and I did this actually. I work with a builder in the Muskegon area as a partner in his business, and I think 3 lakefront homes we've put LVP flooring in, luxury vinyl plank, or LVT, luxury vinyl tile. It's actually a synthetic flooring. It can look really convincingly like wood or tile or concrete. And, they can make it look pretty much like anything you want. It clicks together like an engineered floor, and it's going to be warmer. It's going to be super durable. I say warmer, like warmer than tile. It's also more impact resistant, so it can be really great in a kitchen. It's easier on your back, and isn't an immediate shatter hazard for dishes and things falling. So luxury vinyl flooring would be my instinct, my first recommendation. Also, then sticking with those really low pile power loomed rugs. Indoor outdoor rugs are great. You're going to be dealing with sand. You want something that can either be taken outside and shaken out at the end of the season, or vacuumed really well. Low maintenance, but still very comfortable. Furniture, I still it is really amazing what your stain resistant kind of like Krypton or Sunbrella, like these brands that originally came out with the outside patio furniture, or the super stain proof, super water resistant fabrics. Those brands are coming out with fabrics that are just as plush and comfortable and and soft to the touch as some of the standard fabrics, or the upholstery fabrics that maybe we think of. And so for furniture, to absolutely look into some of those durable fabrics. 8 kids running around, the last thing you want to be doing is is worrying about them enjoying your home. Other furniture, I think it depends on the space. One thing I would keep in mind is if you ever plan to have everyone there, that's likely, 8 to 10 adults and 8 grandchildren. Think about, think about maybe dining chair options or patio chair options that can stack if you don't need them out all the time. Things that, so everybody feels as if they have a space in your home. I love designing lakeshore vacation style bunkhouse bedrooms for kids. Actually working on 2 of those right now, with kind of the inspiration of like bunks that are almost like the birth of of a ship, right? Where the bunks are built in. Each kid has their own little nightlight, their own little shelf for a glass of water, but they can go up instead of all the beds or cots or sleeping bags rolled out whenever they come to visit. So that would be a really fun way to build in special spaces for all of your sweet grandkids, without having them taking up 8 bedrooms. Thank you for the question. Absolutely don't hesitate to reach out if you need any more specific recommendations. I'm happy to share those with you. Oh, Ralph says Core-Tech vinyl flooring has worked well for us. Yep, absolutely. I think it's just a really great flooring innovation for busy houses that are dealing with sand and water and foot traffic, and they can be really beautiful too. All right. I think that's probably all there is for questions. I think most people have logged off. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It was really lovely to have a conversation with you. If you are ready to start a project or have any other questions about home design, don't hesitate to reach out. The contact form on my website is the easiest and most convenient way to get a hold of me. And I really look forward to continuing this conversation with you in the future. Thank you so much and have a great week.